Hi guys, my name's Seb Tudor, I'm the man on the Silver Mountain, and welcome back. Today I wanted to talk about the stuff that's been going on with YouTube. And, partly because, I'm on this platform and I'm still relatively new and some of these things affect me, but also because it stands out to me that, there's an awful lot of stuff flying around in different directions about, whose fault it is or what's going to happen and stuff like that. And then I also want to just touch in on kind of what I think would probably be a good couple of steps forward for YouTube as a whole, and the way that they do things, because at the moment they seem to have done it very in a kind of backward fashion. And some of these will tag in on things that I've said before in other videos a while ago when some of this trouble first started, but it's something that I think can use restating in regards to this platform. Now, the first thing is obviously you've got the advertiser boycott, you've got the changes that YouTube are trying to make and trying to put forward, and stuff like that. And some of this really just seems bizarre because it all seems to have come from a couple of newspaper articles and things. When, would I say that they're purely attacking? Like the mainstream media is purely attacking the new media side of things. Oh, there we go. Sorry. No, I wouldn't. But at the same time, the thing that I would say stands out is very much a kind of. It just shows how much sway old media has with companies and things, even though the companies and the advertisers and things like that are part of this boycott and so on still kind of stand out as having more information on their own sales and their own ads and things like that than a newspaper would, and saying so they're obviously seeing the benefits, but also where the searches are applying things, it's very much kind of you might search for one thing and it'll be stored like with your cookies or whatever else they're using to store your data, and then when you go to a video it'll just apply that straight up. That'll be the advert that seems most applicable to you, so that's the advert that they're going to put forward. It's like if you're, well, as with the some of the stuff that's happened around, you've got these advertisers having their videos shown on ISIS videos. Well, yeah, but okay, but I bet you anything that the person that took the screenshots of those videos and things then didn't report the videos, because they shouldn't be up. It's not a case of, we should be criticizing controversial YouTubers who just report the news, or who just commentate on it, or explain things. Those controversial YouTubers that maybe address fact more than fiction. The people who are being tackled there, and who have suffered there kind of on and off for a while. There's no point in tackling those people. But in regards to an ISIS video, if there's an ad on there, then yeah, you should. Well, not even if there's not an ad on there, if it's on the platform at all, just by itself without without some kind of commentary, without some kind of news attached to it, then yeah, if it's just an ISIS recruitment ad, then yeah, it should be flagged up and got rid of. That's pretty straightforward. You can do that as a kind of fairly easy. Well, it's maybe not the most transparent process, but also it's still a process that's there. And granted, YouTube is not very good at being transparent anyway, and they could improve that by a fair amount. But again, it's like you would have thought that the companies who have been advertising on YouTube would be able to track off. We've stuck this ad on YouTube. Have we seen an increase in kind of the uptake of our product? Have we seen the kind of increase in sales? Have we seen a good number of kind of people clicking in on our website from that link or from the other links that are around? It's all stuff that they can track. So I'm surprised that the whole kind of targeted ads thing, which has been talked about by all manner of other people as well, I'm surprised that they're not keeping a better track of their own data, and they're all going with this knee-jerk reaction. You know, and I don't think there's some big conspiracy. I just think there are a lot of people who aren't very smart, you know, or choose to kind of remain uninformed, to just allow them a quieter life in the long run. But now there's, you know, that's kind of who's involved and how it's working and stuff like that. And now let's talk about who it's affecting. Yeah, because I mentioned the more controversial YouTubers who are deemed non-advertiser friendly. You know, I've had, bizarrely, some of the videos that I've had demonetized that then I've appealed and they've gone back up. You know, some of it is just straightforward news commentary, or it's been. I had one of my Subnautica videos flagged at one point. And demonetized for a couple of days, and it made no sense to me, because I think it's the least violent and least, you know, most friendly game that I have on the channel, and so, you know, there doesn't seem to be an awful lot of consistency to what they're doing or what they're saying, in regards to pulling certain people down and not taking others down and things like that. But also, it's like the people that they are kind of removing ads from seem to be kind of across the board to one extent or another, and I see there being a bit of a problem with this, or at least it's not even necessarily removing all of them, it's the drop in overall revenue, which I think is like $750 million worth that has been taken from YouTube. And so as a result, it's kind of, when you've got people reporting between 50 and 80% reductions in their income from YouTube, you know, that's a bit of a problem, surely. Now, the ways that YouTube have started trying to kind of sort this out, and some of the changes they've been making, one of the first things that they did was refer everyone back to their kind of terms of service, which are so vague and so pointless that, you know, it's boggles the mind. You know, they think that that's enough. And on the platform that's grown in such a way as it has, you know, half of those kind of little rules or things like that, they don't really seem to apply that much anymore. You know, there's too much going on. When you've got over 1 billion users every kind of well, I think the stats are like over 1 billion individual users every year or something like that. It might be over a shorter period of time than that, but still, you know, when you've got that kind of thing going on, when you've got so many people using the platform, then, you know, guidelines on things like profanity or on whatever else, you know, they're so vague and they're so open to interpretation that it makes no sense, you know. And so it's a really weird case then, though, when they also take the step of saying, well, we're not going to be monetizing videos on channels that have under 10,000 views. Now, you know, I don't have 10,000 lifetime views so far. I'm, you know, endeavoring to get there, plus however else. But at the same time, it's a case of they're not really seemingly thinking about their long-term game. They're looking to minimize what's happening right now, and I feel like that's again dealing with a symptom, not the cause, not the problem. And so they're removing ads from people at the bottom of the ladder, and you've got larger YouTubers going, oh well, that's not necessarily a big deal. Well, actually, potentially it kind of is, because some people have been sat on this platform. You've got a lot of people who are sat on this platform saying, it doesn't seem like much now, but at the time that would be a big deal, and if I hadn't had the first few videos that just popped up and got popular and gained interest, and I got that money from that, then it would have really meant that I may not have had the option to continue. You know, and so yes, diversified income and stuff like that, you know, diverse revenue streams is all very important. But obviously there are people who are just starting that haven't got that far yet. They don't have enough of an audience to start diversifying in that way just yet. Myself included. You know, as much as I've got a plan laid out for the things that I want to do, an audience needs to be there before I can start developing additional products or offering different things. you know. And so, you know, having that as a bit of a standout kind of thing is important, you know. But then that seems to be a case of, well, we're going to cut the bottom half, well, not even the bottom half, but the bottom end off, so that the what money is still left is only going to cycle amongst the big ones that bring us more money. And it's like, but do those people really bring you more money? Because a lot of those people who are already big, who are already up the top end, you know, they already diversify their income quite substantially. And yeah, they bring in a lot of views and so on and so forth. And as a result, that means that potentially they bring in a lot of ad views and ad clicks and things like that. But at the same time, you know, those people don't necessarily need the money to then continue to enrich your platform. Yeah, they're using the platform because they're using the platform. Take Philip DeFranco, for instance. You know, he the other day in his video on this stuff made a point of saying that, you know, he earns more from selling shirts that he does like every week or so, or for a limited time every week or whatever else. You know, he earns more on shirts that allow him to carry on and from advertiser slots where he does a sponsored video than the ad revenue that he gets from YouTube, in spite of the fact that he does have a fairly consistently large number of views on his videos, you know. And it's a case of, you've got that with a lot of other people as well, where you've got people being offered jobs outside of YouTube, you know, even if they're not necessarily huge, but they're in that kind of middle bracket, you know, so that they're easily recognizable. You've got those people being offered things outside of the platform. They've used it as a stepping stone to go other places, and that's really good for them. You know, that's one of the things that YouTube should be using as a strength, you know, helping the little guy get up to a place where they don't need the platform anymore, but they are thankful to the platform. Yeah, the whole promoter detractor thing. You want those promoters, you want those people thinking favorably and feeling positive about your platform. You don't want people who are purely beholden to it that then you're brushing aside. You know, it makes a big difference between those two things. You know, and so you've got Google, who are slowly taking over the world, and YouTube is one of their major mouthpieces because it is the content, you know, video content platform. And so as a result, the kind of minimizing of the people at the bottom of the ladder just seems really poorly informed to me, because it's a case of, like, again, as I've said in another video, you need to cycle your talent. You know, there's a reason why you've got comedy clubs all over the place who are always holding open mic nights and having new people on, is because the people, you know, a number of people who have been through there have then gone on to greater things. They've used it as a stepping stone. They've developed. And so as a result, though, they continue to bring in that new talent as much as they continue to book old talent. Yeah? YouTube needs to start looking at itself like that, so that they can continue to provide for as wide an audience as possible, with as many different facets as possible. And they need to continue to cycle that talent. They need to continue to have the little guy grow up into the big guy with the positive feelings towards their platform, the positive interest in the platform's continuation. And the way to do that is not by depriving those at the bottom of the most basic elements of what potentially they've already grown used to. I mean, I'm lucky at the moment. All of my videos are still being monetized. Again, possibly because I've not pissed anyone off and I'm still too small to really be noticed. But, or maybe it's just because I've been consistent in my uploading of a video every day bar Sundays for the last like 6 months odd. But, no, over that now, I think. But what it comes down to is, you know, those videos, those things that I'm doing, you know, they should be looking more to help the little guy, the people who are a few hundred subscribers, because potentially, you know, you help a few thousand of those people. Yeah, you help a few thousand of those people who are like 100 subscribers or less, just up into a few hundred, yeah. In which case, then they can start hopefully developing further, getting into the thousands. Once they're into the thousands, they can start doing sponsored slots. Once they're doing sponsored slots, for various videos, or once they're doing other bits and pieces, or once they're taken more seriously because they've got that kind of like that strength, that leeway, and their subscribers and their views and their watch time starts to snowball a bit more, you know, as has been seen with numerous small YouTubers at various times, but not exactly in an en masse kind of way, you know, then those people are going to be more self-sufficient, they're going to be positive towards the platform, and they're going to promote it. They're going to do more and be willing to do more for the platform to keep it going, you know, and where at the moment you're alienating the people at the bottom of the ladder that are going to be the next generation. You know, let's say, you know, you've got PewDiePie. He's moved some stuff onto Twitch, even though he's still the biggest YouTuber on earth. He has moved stuff onto Twitch. He started doing stuff in other ways. You know, he's already diversified his income with merchandise and with other things that he's doing. You know, you've already generated some ill will by some of the things that have been done back and forth, and the interaction between him and mainstream media and stuff like that as well, and your part in that YouTube. And so with all of that though, you know, if he just up and left and up and did his own thing, he'd be completely able to do it. He'd be completely able to do it, and he's still such a household name that he would draw people along with him, possibly completely off your platform. In which case, you know, what do you want to do? That person is not a stable and reliable thing, yeah? None of them are once they become self-sufficient. That is the important thing to realise. But the big thing is that you've still got this huge pool of talent, this huge pool of individuals at the bottom who are offering all kinds of things, whether it's self-help stuff like me, or whether it's gaming stuff that's more consistent than mine, or whether it's a makeup blog, or whether it's prank videos, or compilation videos, or sporting videos, or, you know, DIY how-tos, or whatever else. You know, all of those different things means that your platform has literally something for everyone. In fact, it's got more than something for everyone, it's got a lot for everybody. But you've still got those people who are going to hit the top end, who are going to move their business off or in different directions. And so you're going to need these people at the bottom. You're going to need to cultivate what you've got. There's no point in growing one harvest, reaping the rewards from it, and then just hoping that harvest will continue forever. There's going to be a winter, there's going to be a drought or something, and it's going to cause that harvest to collapse, and then you're going to have to start again. And if you're not prepared to just cycle through and be ready with a plan and deal with it the way that actually allows for that continuous growth, then all you're going to do is end up with a famine, which is kind of what we're seeing at the moment. And it's seemingly due to YouTube's poor management of not only the creators on its platform, but also of the advertisers that are coming to it. And where you've got the cycle between kind of the creators on one end of the triangle, the viewers up at the point, and then you've got the advertisers on the other, and you've got this little cyclical ecosystem. You know, all it takes is one person to be thrown out of balance, and the only group that can prevent that balance from being kind of disturbed is YouTube. You know, it's their platform, it's their cycle that they created. You know, in which case they're the arbiters of it. They're the people that have to sit there and maintain it, and if they don't, then that's where things start to break down. And I realise I'm late to the party on this as a topic, as I've said, but you know, it's something that I wanted to wait for some time on to take a look at how it was going, and then maybe approach it that way instead. But you know, that's my 2 cents on this whole thing, and you know, I'd love to hear what you guys think. Do you feel that the way that things are going at the moment with the 10,000 cap, 10,000 lifetime view cap? I've heard from a lot of people they think it's too harsh. I've heard from a few others, including some big YouTubers, that it's not a big kind of cap. But again, for people who are coming to the platform, starting out fresh, and so on and so forth, it does mean that potentially any small amount that they could get from YouTube to help them sustain themselves, you know, that's not going to be there anymore. You know, it's a bit of an odd one, really, and kind of unprecedented. And as a result, I can sympathise with YouTube flailing and not really knowing what to do. but at the same time, you know, a little bit of common sense seems to go a long way. And you know, as said, they're part of one of the largest companies on the planet at the moment. I don't see why they can't afford a little bit of guidance if they needed it, or a little bit of extra time to plan stuff out and make stuff work. Again, if they needed it. You know, a lot of these advertisers that are leaving them, yeah, there's a lot of money disappearing, but Google and YouTube by themselves, you know, just on raw power and raw influence, they're still sat head and shoulders above a lot of these other companies that have left them. You know, do they want them back? Of course they want them back, but is it really something that they can't afford to take a deep breath on and then evaluate properly? No. They can do whatever they need to. They have that leeway. It's just they're not taking it because of seemingly fear over the impression that they're leaving on other people. But anyway, as said, I want to hear what you guys think. Is it too harsh? Is it all right? Are the things that do the things that I'm saying make sense? Are they things that you feel that we could that we could try in some way and press to have YouTube actually action and make sense of, or at least just make them aware of it so that they can actually be sensible with it, you know. We'll see. Otherwise, I'd love to hear what you guys think. If you've got other suggestions, you know, let's throw them onto the table and have a discussion. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the video tomorrow. Take care. Thank you very much for watching, guys. If you found this video at all interesting, then please drop us a like and subscribe for more, and we'll see you in the video tomorrow. Take care.